Welcome, everyone, to Tarot Topic Tuesday. And today's tarot topic happens to be a VR to our very own Return from the Ethers Tattoo Spirit. And his question, he had us the question, basically, if we have ever heard of the Georgia Guidestones, what they represent, and what the tarot has to say. He wants to hear from other people, so I'm going to oblige that. I am familiar with the Georgia Guidestones, and I have been, but I really wasn't that specific on my knowledge about them. I knew of them. I knew they had some sayings on them that some of it seemed good and some of it did not seem good at all. And it's interesting. Recently, I saw a little short video about them and all of what they actually have on them. And it's quite literally disturbing, to be actually honest. So I do have a little foreknowledge then of them. So his question is, what are they? What is the underlying message? And what can tarot, basically, what can tarot tell us about the Georgia Guidestones? And I'm going to do my normal 7-card spreads, and the center will represent how it affects us, how they affect us, and then each element will affect how it affects each part of our bodies. And I will also draw from the Fairy Wisdom Oracle of what the Georgia Guidestones are all about and what the message the Fairy Wisdom Oracle has for us on that. Shuffling's done while I was talking, so let's start with the first. So, the first card we draw is the Knight of Pentacles. And I think I'll just draw them as I go. And this way you can actually see the cards without me piling them on top of each other. So the Knight of Pentacles. So it affects our physical structures in life, our physical being. And this is also a knight. So a knight has energy, the fire element in it to me. So that means this is what's driving us in the physical realm. It's, to me, it affects us on a physical, manifestational level. So it's almost like what they say, they're a guide for manifestation. That's what I'm getting from that card, and not for what I know of them. In the East position, the air or the mind. So how does they affect us being the United States? How does it affect our minds? So we have the Eight of Wands, which is a fire element, and it's all about swift movement. But if we look at the card, there's lightning and it's going into the heart, and this is the mind position. So again, I am thinking of the Three of Swords and the disconnecting the heart from the mind, because when we are that's disconnecting of the heart chakra, and that's the disconnect of the third eye. So those two are not being connected. It's severing that connection. In the fire element, which is our spiritual, our sexuality, this is how it affects us. There we have the Five of Pentacles. So if you think of elements as metal also, which they would include, and the fire element as the forge here, then it's almost solidifying the elements and transforming earth, the goodness of the earth, into stagnation, because this is being left, this is a typical card of being left out in the cold. You're seeking refuge, but there's nowhere to go. There's no salvation. You know, it's looking for salvation. But it's that 5 that is represented of disruption. But it also, in this card, it looks like the light. The 5 looks like the light, and I'm hearing the way shower. And I hear that the fire is, so spiritually, it is having us seeking to find a new pathway. Okay? Emotionally, in the water, we have Princess of Cups, right? So the Princess of Cups is water here. So we have water on water. So it's going to affect us basically emotionally. The Princess is equal to the Page of Cups. So it's also bringing messages about our emotional response. And if we look really at the card, again, we see the third eye involved. We have the light coming out to the third eye. So this is all about emotional upheaval, stirring the pot. Water on water is being flooded with emotions, being flooded with literal water is also a message I am getting. God, David didn't think she'd be that noisy. In the Earth position, okay, this is the top of the reading. In the Earth position, we have the Devil. So this tells me right offhand, without even knowing really, even if I didn't know any of the details, this would tell me right off the bat, this is about control. We have the cords coming down and these adults in an embryonic situation here. So we have this Saturnian energy about controlling the narrative on the physical level. So to me, this is all about control. So if we look at it this way, we have this Pentacles here, we have the Devil there. So, well, this would be the south, right? So we look at it in a 3-way from the south to the north. We have that juxtaposition, and you can see how it's all about the physical, really the physical being, and how emotionally it is charged. So this would be this way here, right? That light's really reflecting. So this way here really speaks to me a lot of disruptions when we look at it across this way of the physical and emotional in us. Okay, so underneath it all, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So this is giving us the options of what we want to do, right? The Ace is about new beginnings. That's about starting over. So it's up to us what we choose to do in the moment is going to determine the outcome. Do we, as sovereign individuals, take responsibility for our own well-being? Or do we, and this is a message from Spirit, or do we allow someone else to bridge that gap for us? Do we allow someone to be the mediator, or do we connect directly with the spiritual level for ourselves? That's what I'm really seeing here. So do we allow, are we going to start over, or are we going to allow somebody else to do it for us? That to me is a burning question. What's the answer? As you know, tarot can be a great tool to allow us to find our own pathway. Because nothing is really ever set rigidly in stone. It's always how we react to the situation. So what this is telling me, bridging, right, the earth and sky, or as above, so below. Who is going to be the channel here? Who is going to bring the cosmic forces in the earth? Those guide stones or us? That's the choice. And we get attitude for the Fairy Wisdom Oracle. And that's easy to find. That's number 1. There is a message here, they say, about attitude. Take a closer look at the way you interact with others. Stand up for your rights and your ideals, but also honors other people's positions. What appears obvious to you may not be so obvious to another person. Go deep within yourself and ask, what is that I need to observe within myself? We can choose to act or react to any situation. So, the chant for this is very apropos. Mother, Father, God, help me to see what I need to see and to release what I need to release. Help me see within the mirror, clearly and with insight into my inner being. Assist me in being forthgiving of myself and others, so I may live the happiest and the most successful life possible. So be it. Make faces at yourself in the mirror today. I will leave you with that. I hope you found this interesting. I did. Many blessings. Remember to get out there and be wild and to breathe, people.